my god, I just realized that I was about to start this video without a lick of mascara on. I know that's not like a huge problem in real life, but with this makeup look, yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. Like, girls who wear makeup problems, what can I say? Hey everybody, I'm back. Okay, so I know that this is taking God knows how long. I mean, I went on Sweetener Tour like what feels forever ago, but I'm here and I'm here to tell you all about the fun and the excitement that happened while I was on Sweetener Tour. I'm actually wearing the ears that I wore from the show, the cat ears, and I am wearing one of the sweatshirts that I showed you guys on the tour merch haul. If you haven't seen the video, then the link will be down in the description box, alright? Cool, let's get started. It was such a crazy day, like the day of. I was so excited and I was all over Instagram, just talking about how excited I was. I was literally counting down. And so when the day finally came, I went on my Instagram story and I was just like, yes, it's Sweetener Day. I'm so excited. I know a lot of people like to travel in groups or like go with friends, but me personally, I prefer flying solo. I love traveling alone, and it's not because I don't have a lot of friends. It's mainly because I just like being independent and I like having the option to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and just have fun on my own. So for this particular road trip, I went by myself. I live in Tulsa, which is 2 hours away from Oklahoma City, and I decided to kind of make a two-way trip. First, I took a trip down to my grandparents' house, and I spent a little bit of time with them, and I got to see my horse Winnie. I'll like put a picture somewhere. Check-in was between like 4:30 and 5:30, but I ended up getting there around like 5-ish, and I would have gotten there earlier if my grandparents' car hadn't broke down. Like, it literally, we weren't even out of Tulsa yet, and then the car decides to break down. So we had to call an Uber, go back to my house, get my car, and then they drove me to their house. And I was just like, okay, well, it's like darn near noon right now. It's almost 1:30. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have time to do my makeup by the time I get to my grandparents' house and then get from there to the arena on time. I'm not gonna do it. So I literally was putting on all of my foundation and my powder and doing everything, like literally getting ready in the back seat of the car. I did everything except for my eyeliner because I had liquid eyeliner, and to get this cat eye inside of a moving car, that was just not gonna happen. Like, I would have been looking like a circus clown. And so I had to do most of my makeup in the car. I did half of it. And then when I finally got to my grandparents' house, I went straight to the bathroom, changed clothes, finished my makeup, did my hair, and we were getting back in the car and on my way to the convention center. So it was about like maybe 5 o'clock by the time I got there. And so they had two different doors. They had the doors for all the general admission and for the people who had their Sweetener passes, and then they had another door for VIP check-in. So I went straight there, and I accidentally cut some people in line. It was a complete accident. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. So I just walk in the door. I didn't even see like the curve line. Like, I just immediately walk in the door, and it's like I'm in the middle of the front part of the line. And I turn around and I asked this lady and her mom, I was just like, is this where the VIP checks in? And she was like, yes. And I was like, okay, just making sure I'm in the right place. And I immediately just like stepped right in line. The line was actually backed up around the corner, but I just walk in the door and just like take my spot like, oh, hey. But nobody said anything, so I don't think anyone noticed that I cut in line, and if they did, then they didn't tell me, or they either didn't care. I don't know, but I just thought that was pretty funny. I made friends with two girls in front of me. They went in together, and one of the girls had this cute little hairpin. It was bedazzled, and I think it said, thank you next. I think it said either thank you or thank you next, something like that. But the first girl, she turned back to me and she's like, your makeup is really pretty. And I was just like, thank you. I was just about to say, I love your eyelashes. And we just talked for a little bit, and they told me that they went to Dangerous Woman Tour, and I think they said they went to Honeymoon Tour too, and they had meet and greet and everything else. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I asked them if they were buying merch. And one of the girls was just like, can I be honest? And I was just like, yeah. And she said, I think the merch this time is ugly. Like for Dangerous Woman, it looked amazing. And like her Sweetener Tour merch online looked great. And I would definitely buy that. But yeah, the merch here is ugly. And I was just like, okay, keep it real, girl. I can't relate. But yeah, go ahead. So I get through security and they check my little bag. I didn't have anything in my bag, in my little clear bag, besides like besides my cash and my ID, because they say you have to show your ID. And the cool thing, I look ahead above the metal detector, and right in front of me is Darcy Lynn Farmer. You know, the girl, the ventriloquism girl from America's Got Talent. She was right there, and I was just like, I had to get the picture with her before they lock our phones. So the thing about the phones, they have little pouches that you have to put your phone into, and then they lock them up because you can't use them for meet and greet. You can't use them for the sound check party. You can't do anything until you get into the lounge. And so all of our phones were locked, and you could not unlock it. Only they could unlock it. And so after they lock my phone, and after I get my ticket and my pass and everything else like that, I go straight into the merch line. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, it's my turn. And then security just comes up and is just like, hey, we're about to open the doors for the sound check party for the Q&A session. So unless you can buy merch in the next 5 minutes, I would suggest you get in line right now. And so I'm in the front and I'm looking at like all of the merch that I want because they have them in numbers. And so I was like, okay, I want 20, I want 26, I want 19, I want 14, I want 5, I want this one, I want that. And then the lady is just like grabbing all of them. And she's like, what size? I was like, I need them all in a medium. And then I was like, and then when I got through, she was like, okay, is there anything else that you want? And I was just like, yeah, I need one more of this sweatshirt and I need it in a small. I'm buying it for a friend. And she's like, oh, okay. So we like hurry up and get the merch together, and she folds it up nicely for me, and she puts them in my bags. Oh, let me show you the bags. 1 second. Okay, I have 2 of them. So she grabs my merch and she folds them neatly and she puts them in these bags. You've probably seen like a ton of these, but they always give them to you for the merch, and they're humongous. I also had a lot of merch, that's why they're so big. But it says thank you next, and at the bottom it says have a nice life. I just got my lipstick on it. But yeah, she put them in these big bags. I had so much merch that they had to give me 2 bags. Crazy, right? I know. So I get my bags, I get my Sweetener Tour bag, and I'm like standing in line, and I'm just like talking to the 2 girls, and I make 2 other new friends. And you know, everybody's super nice, and we were waiting in that line for a long time, and I really had to go to the bathroom. I don't know what it is with lines, like you always just stand there and then all of a sudden you have to pee. And so I was just like, can you guys do me a huge solid? And the 2 girls in front of me were just like, yeah. I was like, can you hold my spot in line while I run to the bathroom? It was literally like right there. It was like 5 feet away, so I could just run there and run back. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. And she was just like, yeah, you want me to hold your merch for you? And I was just like, no, it's okay, I'll just take it with me. And she's like, okay. So I go to the bathroom, I come back, I fixed my eyelash because one of my eyelashes was like halfway on, halfway off, and I was like fighting with it all night long, but that's a story for another time. And so I'm standing there, and we're just sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm just looking inside of my sweetener bag, and I'm about to show you all of what's inside. So this is really cute, and it has Sweetener World Tour upside down. I'm going to move over here so you can see it in better lighting. Yeah, it says Sweetener World Tour, and there's a lot of really cool stuff in it, so I'm going to show you. The first one, of course, is the Sweetener poster. I thought it would be autographed, but it wasn't. But either way, it's like such a good album, and it's such a good poster, so I don't really care. I'm going to hang it up on the wall later. And the second thing is these cool little patches. They're like really cute, and I think you could like put it on like a jean jacket or something like that. And so I'm gonna uh buy like a jacket or find one of the jackets in there, maybe put it on, I don't know. But this one says Sweetener World Tour. One of them has 7 rings. The other one says thank you next. I tried to show you the back because the front you can't really see. The next thing is her really pretty cloud perfume. It smells so good, and this is just her rollerball, but I really want to buy her perfume, like the whole bottle, because this smells amazing, and it's in a super pretty box. It's really pretty. And then we have this cute little compact mirror. As you can tell, I haven't opened anything at all. I really haven't. I need to, because I always looking for a good compact mirror, because every compact mirror I have, I always lose it. But this one I will not lose. I will keep it in my purse for all of eternity. Oh, and then I have my lanyard. This is my Sweetener lanyard that they give to you, to all the people who had VIP. Yeah, it's really cute, and it just has, you know, her Sweetener cover on it, and it says Sweetener World Tour. And then finally, I know this is unimportant, but I think it's really cool, just a cute little keepsake. It's my ticket. Back to the VIP. So we finally walk into the arena, and we're all in the pit. And so we go into the pit and we wait for the soundcheck Q&A to start. And I remember Scott and Brian and a few of the dancers, and Ariana comes out with Toulouse. Toulouse is so cute. He is the cutest little puppy I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even. Like, when she came out, everybody started screaming and cheering, and I just stood there like, that's literally my reaction. I was like, huh, huh, huh. And she was just like, hi, everybody. I was like, hi. Oh my God, you're real. And she was just really chill, and she was really nice, and she was hilarious. I remember like a few of the questions were pretty funny. There was one where she said, somebody asked, like, can she do the whoa and some other stuff? And she was just like, yeah, I'll pass. And then there was another one where somebody asked her if she could sing a James Charles song, and then she jokingly was just like, who asked that question? Yeah, you did? Yeah. Security! And she was just kidding. She didn't kick them out. She was just kidding, but it was really funny, though. And she asked a few more questions, and it was really cool, and we got to play a game. I was not good at this game at all, so the game was they would play a little snippet of some of her songs, and I thought it would just be like from Sweetener and Thank You Next. No, it was her whole discography, and I was just like, oh well, I suck. So they played a couple songs, and some I knew, some I didn't, but they only played like a snippet, and then we were just like, okay, you're gonna have to play some more because we don't know. And she told a funny story about how one of the other sound check parties, all they guessed was Into You. Like, they would play a snippet of No Tears Left to Cry, Into You. A snippet of Thank You Next, Into You. And they would be like, no! And I remember that I finally got one, and I was just like, because it was just the beat, like I knew it, because No Tears Left to Cry was my absolute favorite song on Sweetener, and all I heard was boom, 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 and I was just like, No Tears Left to Cry. I was waving my hand like, oh, me, and then Scott, he pointed to me, and he was like, I was like, No Tears Left to Cry, and he was like, wow, you got it. I was like, yes, and that's how I won the God is a Woman t-shirt. And they were like, which one is it? And I was like, me. One of the songs was Santa Tell Me. And it really makes me laugh because I actually love that song. But Ariana, she started singing it. And she was just like, this is the saddest effing Christmas song ever. And we all just started laughing because we were just like, well, yeah, it kind of is when you listen to the lyrics. But it's, I don't know, I really like it. After the Q&A and the game was over, all the people who had wristbands, they went over to the meet and greet, and all the people who didn't have wristbands, we went straight into the lounge. And it was really, really pretty. And it was so pink. And they finally unlocked our phones. They took our phones out of those little pouches. And I was just like, yes, I can finally take pictures because I look fabulous. I remember I had these 2 space buns. Yeah, right now I don't. Right now I just have a ponytail. But I had these 2 space buns. I had my cat ears. And I had the rest of my hair was down. And I took pictures in front of this big banner that had Sweetener World Tour on it. And I remember that there was a photo booth, and I had pictures of my cat ears, and there were like different types of props and stuff, but the main one I wanted was the bunny ears. And I took pictures in front of the photo booth, and I posted them on my Instagram. And oh, and then they had a few refreshments. They had a candy bar. Oh, and they had a drink. They had a lot of drinks. They had like assorted drinks. And they were all named after songs on the album. I remember one was called 7 Rings Punch. That's one that I had. They had Breakup Bellini, which was like peach and vodka and some other stuff. And they had a lot of stuff. Oh, they had these 2 vanities. One was it had her Cloud perfume, the actual bottle, and I like sprayed it all over because it smelled so good, and it had all of her different scents. It had Sweet Like Candy on there, it had Ari. And the second vanity, it had like 7 rings, pictures everywhere, and at the top it said, "My smile is beaming, my skin is gleaming." And it had little rhinestones that like you could put on your face or put on your shirt. And I remember the lady, she was such a nice waitress. She was like, put some on. And I was just like, okay. So I like had like 3 across my eyes, and it was really cute. And they were pink to match my ears and to match my my choker. I don't have it on right now, but yeah, I have a matching choker. So we chill in there for a little bit. We eat for a little bit, and the show started at 8, and the doors opened for the public at 7. And so I was just chilling in there, and then I look on my phone, and it's like 7:45, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to go find my seat now. So I go and I find my seat, and I didn't realize just like how close I was. Like I knew that I had like a few rows to the stage. I wasn't in the pit, but I was like the closest around it. So I started filming. I was like, whoa, look how close I am. Like, this is really cool. And the first people that were on was Social House. Now, I had never heard of them before the concert, but I remember like listening to like 2 of their songs before the concert, and they sound okay. Like I like them. They got like a nice kind of flow, like a Jamaican type vibe, a little reggae. And they were really nice, and they really knew how to like pump the energy up and like get everybody, you know, ready for the show. And they did maybe like 1 or 2 songs, and then they got off. And then the second person was Normani. She turned it out, okay? I knew of Normani from like Fifth Harmony and everything, but I never was really a huge fan of her till now. She was incredible. Like, she and her dancers were all over the stage. She did a Rihanna medley. She sang some Fifth Harmony songs. She sang some of her own songs. And the choreography was so good. And she looked incredible. And just the way she performed and the way she interacted with the audience was just blew my mind. She blew me away. Like, bravo, Normani, bravo. It was a 10 out of 10. She was amazing. And that's the way you open a show. Like, that is how you do it. Like, she stepped out. She was so confident, and she looked so gorgeous. And I just wanted to be up there with her. I'm just like, I love you so much. Like, if you didn't know about Normani, you know about her now. So then Ariana comes, and of course, everybody's super excited. Like, the lights came down, and like, everybody, at first it was just like me and 2 people in the front row, and then all of a sudden all these people come and like just start filling up the seats, and I was just like, how am I supposed to find room to dance? Like, where am I gonna put my merch? Like, what? Y'all should have been here forever ago. But we got through it and we managed. Everybody got into their seats and like security was checking to make sure that they were, you know, in the right seats and they had their tickets and blah, 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 blah. They just wanted to see Ariana. They didn't really care about all these opening acts. So understandable. The lights go down and the screen comes on. It's like the moon. It was like moon kind of coming into an eclipse, if that makes sense. And the first thing you hear is raindrops from Sweetener, and that's the part that everybody waits for. That's the part where you know that the show is about to start. And she came out, and of course she was amazing. Like, I can't describe how incredible everything was. I'm just gonna let you watch the footage. Roll the clips. The show was just amazing, and I remember that I lost my voice and that I was looking over to all the girls around me, and we had to help each other get back up the stairs because everybody was kind of crowded around trying to get out of the building and just to get merch and take pictures and stuff. And I remember just getting out, like, it was the most incredible show ever. And it was like midnight by the time I got out. And everybody was like, hey, where's the after party? Where's the after party? And I was just like, yeah, it's at Greystone Lounge. It's like 2 minutes from here. And they were like, okay, I don't know if we should take an Uber or what. And they were like, you want to come with us? I was just like, no, I'm exhausted. Like, I'm all partied out. The show was my party. It's time for me to go. That was my Sweetener Tour experience, and I had a blast. And if any of you guys are going, please let me know in the comments, and please take pictures, and you can always DM me in my Instagram or my Twitter, both at BeautyCutie95. You can follow me. And thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.